We begin this morning with an example of a Superstorm Sandy victim who's fallen through the cracks, unable to get any federal help or grant money or charitable donations. It's a food pantry and soup kitchen run by a synagogue that was put out of business by Sandy's 4-foot floodwaters. Rabbi Yossi Bayrek can barely walk through the crumbling wreckage, filling the Shaarei Zedek synagogue in Far Rockaway. Mold covers the floors and walls from the 6-foot floodwaters. The roof shifted and leaks whenever it rains, worsening the damage to hundreds of waterlogged prayer books. And it's not just the nearly 100 congregants forced to go elsewhere who've been hurt, but the many needy neighbors who depended on the now ruined synagogue's food bank and soup kitchen.
FEMA didn't give us a penny for it. We asked them for money. We're not covered. We're a nonprofit organization, a synagogue. We're not covered under FEMA.
The congregation had no federal flood insurance, and their private insurer rejected their claim, saying the damage had been caused by wind.
Mary, this is fresh Danish.
Rabbi Bayrek still delivers some food to neighbors like Mary Fear Not. The 86-year-old has severe arthritis and struggles to replace the food she received from the synagogue.
It's convenient for me and the people too, because I have to go up in the Far Rockaway in their village, and I'm not able to travel there.
The Far Rockaway Synagogue was first established in 1918, a few blocks away, before moving to its Beach 30th Street location in 1973.
Sad. I mean, this is a thriving congregation. Brand new floor was put in a few months before Sandy.
Rabbi Bayrek says he must now turn to the public to restore what Mary Fear Not and others have relied on.
Please help much as you can, because we need a food bank nearby in this neighborhood.
Rabbi Bayrek says he hopes to raise $200,000 to revive that mission. And joining us now, Rabbi Yossi Bayrek, who ran the food pantry and soup kitchen at the synagogue, congregation Shaarei Zedek, and attorney Alvin Shine representing the congregation. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hi, Rich.
First off, Rabbi, give us a little history of the synagogue, when it was first started in Rockaway all the way back, and when you put the food pantry and soup kitchen in.
1918, it was started on the beach block on Beach 36th Street.
Almost 100 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
During the Lindsay administration,
Wow.
the synagogue had to move. They moved to Beach 30th Street in 1973. We started the soup kitchen right after that.
And who was served by this soup kitchen and food pantry?
Unemployed, people who needed food in the community.
How often was it open?
It was open a few days a week.
Right.
And whatever wasn't open, I brought it to their home.
Mr. Shine, explain a little bit more, if you can, the reasons why the synagogue is not eligible for FEMA aid, because it's obvious that there was a severe damage to it.
Right. Well, apparently FEMA has a rule against providing funds to religious organizations. The rabbi had applied and was just summarily rejected. We've since understood that there is a rule, a FEMA rule, which is not publicized, that if the charitable activity is more than 50% of the activity of the synagogue, he might be eligible. But FEMA has not addressed that and just summarily rejected the application.
How do you even determine a 50% usage?
Well, we like the opportunity to do that with FEMA, but the facts are that the food use or the food bank is more than 50% of the activity, because services are a few hours a week. The congregation is elderly, mostly elderly people who come to perhaps a daily evening service or a Sabbath service. But the activity of this food bank is a number of hours during the week, and also involves receiving food and distributing the food. So it's more than 50%.
So you were handing out this food for more than 40 years, and you're saying it was more than half of the hours that were spent by anyone in the building were for this purpose.
Prayers are only twice a day, actually, morning and evening. And the weekend.
Well, then the question I have is, did anyone from FEMA ever come to try to figure out what the percentage is?
Never even ask. You submit your application twice, rejected.
Well, of course, they have such an overwhelming need right now. They're being besieged and swamped, but we all know they appropriated $60 billion, Congress, several states involved, and people all over the South Shore and along the East Coast and Jersey. And so I'm sure that, you know, any way that they can narrow down their list, they would. Well, what do you think happened here, Mr. Shine?
I think, unfortunately, we're a very small organization with no political clout, no visibility, and just unfortunately was not important to anybody to really look at.
Well, you speak about political clout. Have any elected officials from the community come forward to try to help? Or anybody in the community?
No.
Describe this community that you're serving.
Mostly elderly people, all religions, They live in the area around the synagogue who need the food desperately.
And generally not members of the synagogue,
Generally not members.
economically disadvantaged, impoverished.
Disadvantaged, impoverished.
Yeah.
The food relief is completely non-sectarian, all races and religions.
Well, you know, they have these rules, and people of all stripes have run into problems with the rules from FEMA. But moving on from that, the first thought I had after that was, what about the charities? You would think perhaps they would be able to help you. Did you get any help from the
None
charities?
whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Explain that.
We applied to the Red Cross, Interfaith, National Interfaith. They came down. They saw the area right after the storm. They came down. They saw the area. We'll get back to you. Called them again. We'll get back to you. Never come back.
Yeah, a lot of people said about a half-dozen agencies, and some would do a little bit of work, and they say we returned, but did they?
Never returned.
Even some charity from Minnesota, I believe they came in and did what?
Nakama came in. They did work on the place. We'll be back to finish it up. I mean, rebuild it. They took off the mold and all that. But after to rebuild it, it never showed back again.
Well, you can walk in there and still smell the mold,
So,
though.
no question about it.
So then do you follow up with them? What happened in your
We called them again, emails. We'll get back to you. Don't worry about it. Never get back.
Just no responses.
No response.
Well, what's going on there, Mr. Shine?
Again, it's really hard to understand what is going on. I wish I had a good answer. But again, it comes back to a little synagogue in Far Rockaway has no visibility and nobody cares.
Yeah, we called some of the organizations and got voicemail and never did hear back, which is a little bit unusual because usually that we are called back. And you mentioned that you have a small congregation. What happened to the members of your congregation after this?
Dispersed around the community. They couldn't use the building whatsoever. They had to go to different synagogues. Food wasn't available to the other people.
Describe what needs to be done there and how much it would cost again.
Around about $200,000.
To do what? What needs to be done?
Okay, the roof has to be fixed. The roof is leaking in. It has to be repaired. The floors have to be pulled up again, redone. The walls, if you saw the pictures of the walls, the sheetrock on the walls has to be taken down and redone.
All the mold has to be remediated first, which means to take down all the sheetrock, get rid of the mold, and put up new sheetrock.
They have organizations where people donate their time, volunteers, and come and do this. Have nobody stepped forward?
Nobody stepped forward whatsoever.
You know, of course, some folks are going to say, well, what about the members of your congregation?
Elderly people.
You know, but, you know, they are members of the congregation and matters to them. Could they step forward with the money?
They're all primarily on fixed incomes, Social Security, elderly people. They're not in a position to contribute money for this.
So where do things stand now, Rabbi?
We're still looking for donations, volunteers, anything to help us out.
Even just getting that place cleaned up would be a start, I would think.
It would be a start. Again, but the repair would be the most important thing.
Well, I think people understand why now, almost 3.5 years later, still not much been done. Rabbi Yossi Bayrak and Attorney Alvin Shine, thank you so much for coming and talking.
Thank you very much for helping us.
To tell us about the help you're hoping to get for the food pantry and soup kitchen at the congregation Shari Zadek. Get it back in business. Thank you for explaining your need today.
Thank you very much.